Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to play some Tiny Glade, which is a game that came out a few weeks back, and it is essentially a little builder that is not like there's no resources involved. It's nothing like that. It's literally just like a calm, relaxing little builder that's kind of meant to be like a fantasy vibe primarily. Or like a medieval kind of vibe, I guess, if you want to see it that way. But there's different biomes and everything, but I thought we'd go with the summer biome. And essentially, I've seen a few other people play this for like ASMR videos, and I just think it would be a fun one to do, especially because, you know, I love gaming myself. So we're going to just see what we can make, what we're going to make, and I'm thinking just something relatively straightforward, some kind of castle or the like. And yeah, it's mainly just for relaxation purposes. So if you guys enjoy this, let me know. Maybe we can do more. In the meantime, let's get into it. And I just need to remember a lot of the controls, but we'll get there. That's not what I'm looking for. I am looking for this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm probably going to be going in and out of soft spoken and whispered for this, depending on how I'm feeling. So just stick with me on that as well. But yeah, so it's a nice little basis there. I do think we'll have. Let's start with doors actually. Where are we at? So there's two ways you can make doors in this. You can either go with a path and create a door like that, or you can put windows to the floor. Well, certain windows, and they will turn into doors like that. So you have two ways of doing it. Primarily, the reason they have these is for your upstairs areas, so to speak, so that you don't, lose that. You can also combine them, and they can turn into larger doors as well. So, really cool premise of a game. Same with the windows. If you add them together, you can get something like that. And so there you have a nice little tower. Maybe not Rapunzel-esque necessarily, but not 100 miles off. Yeah, so what I think we'll do here is we'll have a path like that, a nice little winding path, and alongside that we will have a fence. Now I believe you can have the fences. Yeah, okay. They follow pretty well a path if you want them to, so we can do it like that. And then what we can do is as well, we can make a smaller path that kind of goes through the fence as if it was going into the field, and that creates a nice little archway there as well. So as you can see, it's already shaping up pretty well. And then we can do this and add 3 windows together, get a little window there, and then I think we'll actually have 1, 2, 3 here. And these items all pop up on their own, the hay bales and the barrels, etc. I think that needs to move down just slightly to be on level thereabouts. Okay, yeah. And if you put a window on the floor on an upper level as well, you get a little trap door that obviously someone would use to get to the top floor. The same can happen with the buildings as well. So if you take a path through here and actually you make it large enough, it turns into a nice little archway instead. We're not going to do that necessarily on that building there, but we could do, for example, something like this, and then you can actually put an archway in like that. Maybe a bit too large. We want it just to turn into an archway. We don't want to. Oh, so that's going to happen regardless, it looks like. Usually it doesn't do that. Oh, maybe I need to make the path bigger in general. Let's see. We'll get there any second now. Oh, no. But anyway, you can do something like this as well, and have a nice little area that's like fully arched. And then if you want, you can let go of that and you can click on the arches and bring it up, and suddenly you've got a nice little is it a pergola, I think they call it, or a pergola, or anything like that, however you want to call it. What you can do as well is there are flowers. Now, there's not many variations on flowers currently, but you can do something like that and kind of bring that around here. I'm trying not to over edit myself like I usually do in these types of games, just primarily so that you guys can enjoy what we're creating. You can also pet the sheep, apparently. I did not know that until just now. I have just hidden that sheep. But there, you can do something like that, and suddenly you have a nice little place already. But then as well, we do have water. We also have a feature for moving the terrain, so we'll show you that in a second as well. But let's put some water in. Oh, it's not going. Oh, that's the delete tool. Sorry, that's my bad. There, water. We can just do a nice little patch of water. That's maybe a bit too big, to be fair. Let's make that a little bit smaller, and we'll run that along the side here like that. To be fair, it looks a little bit out of place though, so we'll move it a little bit more out. I still hate that. I'm editing myself suddenly. We'll make it larger. We'll do it down here. Like that. That looks a little better. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little bit more feasible. And if we just, what I think I'll do is I'll actually bring this side in a little bit. Like that. And then what we'll do is, with the terrain tool, we'll lift that slightly to make it look a little bit more. And then we can actually play around with that a little bit. And kind of, yeah, so, and then you can do the same on this side. And I don't want it obviously too high, but if we bring that up a bit, then it's got a little bit more of like an elevation from the water, so like the water wouldn't seep into the house, so to speak. All these things you can start to think about as well. If you want to redraw here, I think you click Control. Oh, I think I've done that wrong, but still, you can do something. I forget what it is, but you can do something to basically make it so that you can control the land separate to the rest of it. So you can like draw again. Yeah, I think it actually is Control. I think I just did it wrong previously. But again, bring that up, and suddenly you have a nice little area there. You could also paint things, so if we wanted to paint the house to a different colour, we can do that as well. We can match it here. We can also paint the roof to be a different colour, so we can go for like a more muted colour palette with the grey, as you can see there, which is pretty nice. And then as well, we do have trees, which again don't have a huge variety in them in terms of them, but you can move those about too. So you can have a tree there, for example, or if you don't like that, you can bring it and put it there, which again, pretty cool. So otherwise, I think you guys might have got a taste of that before, but let's say I wanted to raise that up, and suddenly you have steps leading up to the house that are stone, which is pretty cool. You can also, I believe, you can tap on these windows and it will change what is in front of them. You see that? You can change it into little baskets and stuff like that as well. Same here. Changes the items, which is pretty cool. Not so much with this one. Well, you can change like what it looks like against the stone. You can add little cracks, which is really cool. Gives it a little bit more of a weathered look, which we love. I don't know how many other things are in that nature, but yeah, you can also again move that down low. You can also right click and drag the whole thing up, so if you wanted to make this higher, or if you wanted to make this lower, so that's the house so far. And I think that's what's really cool about this, is like, it's not about making anything that has like the right statistics for like a city builder or anything like that. You can literally just play around and enjoy yourself and relax, and it's like a really nice way to spend an hour or so. You know, like just look at that, like really pretty. And then if I want to, I think I can even add, yeah, so you can add windows to the roof, and I think maybe you could potentially, depending on how you position them. Obviously there's things you can do on your own personal time as well, basically, like on your own personal, not time, that's the wrong word, but like your own personal design. So you could obviously go around the whole place doing that if you wanted. You know, I think I just wheezed there, by the way. If you heard that, I'm sorry. But yeah, you could go around the whole, but you could do things that the game doesn't necessarily dictate, so to speak. And you could go around all the way around and make that look really pretty if you wanted. I actually kind of want to do that now, but I don't want to spend too long on that specific thing. But yeah, again, you have these location and sunlight. So there we go. Now we're nice in the sun again, which helps if you're looking for certain details, etc. You can also freeform walls now. For example, let's say I want to be a little bit destructive here, and I wanted to destroy some of the walls here. The walls will now turn into this kind of almost decrepit building, and you'll start to see like so like if I got rid of that, for example, let's say I got rid of this tower, let's say we had that, now you can see it looks like the same place we just had it 2 minutes ago, but except suddenly it looks very run down, and you can do, you know, you can do stuff with that too. Like you can put like another, you could run it right through, you know, you could do that, and suddenly the windows are actually they're out as well. So it's like they've really thought about everything when it comes to this sort of thing. You have other kind of accessories as well. You can put a light outside. You can do flags, which would be really nice for like if you want to go around and do something like this, you know. And they do have different variations of patterns on these too. So if you click on this, it changes through a number of patterns, and of course again you can colour these different colours as well. Sorry, the flags themselves you can as well. If I can click on one, I am struggling. There we go. And you can change. Oh, you could change that to like a yellow, for example. I think you can also change it so that. Oh, yes, you can. I think if you position them correctly, yeah, there, for example. So if you want to put one higher, and if you want to put that, sort of like you could start going around and make a full like lane of them. Of course, in this instance, it looks a little weird, but yeah. And then you can obviously bring that in, bring that back out. It's like really easy to do any sort of changes, and nothing is permanent. So you know you've got like a really cool. So now let's say I wanted to go right back to when that building was still together. It doesn't take long at all, and suddenly we're back where we were. And as well, if you're doing certain other things, like for example, you can do this, and then I can literally raise this up, and everything underneath will stay the same, as opposed to other builders where it might get rid of everything. And then you've got like a nice little tower again here. If you want to move that, you can move that off, place that there, for example, and then you can expand it again. You can bring down the size, you can lift up and make a nice pointed piece there. So for example, if I wanted to think, actually that would look really cool atop there, and suddenly we actually have a really cool piece atop that building. So yeah, I mean, that's about 15 minutes of work, and look what we've managed to create, and look how cool it looks and cute it is. And yeah, I think it's one of those things where you could be on for hours, especially like if you're a Sims fanatic or really anything like that. It's a great tool. Sorry, that was my screen messing up a little bit there for a second. But yeah, I think we will leave it there for now. I'm pretty happy with the end product, so to speak. And yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, or otherwise, if you've enjoyed this, maybe throw a subscription or a like on the video. Thank you guys as always. I hope you have a great relax, a great sleep, or otherwise just a great day. And I'll speak to you guys again very soon. Bye guys.